Alright guys, today we want to discuss something real serious. We need to get on this subject. It's a touchy one, but we have to talk today about race in America. Welcome back guys to another video, Rich and Jazzy Life. So today is not one of our usual videos that you normally see. We definitely strive to be as uplifting in any time that we can.
Right. We like to spread positivity through our vlogs, showing our family, enjoying life, showing you guys us as parents. Royce worried about her birthday, which is not for another month.
Today is not her birthday.
She's I don't know why she thinks today's her birthday, because Rain's been putting it in her head that it's her birthday, but it's not for a whole another month and change.
Basically in our house, in terms of that, is they ask whose birthday is next, and we had told them that it's Royce's birthday, and clearly that was a mistake.
Right. No, we told her that it's Royce's birthday next.
Right. That's what I said.
But they don't understand the
next doesn't mean tomorrow.
Right.
So today we want to discuss you know, it's a sensitive thing. We don't discuss race and politics on our channel for the most part, because we try to leave that separate as much as possible. Our channel is really for anyone, you know, anyone that wants to watch our channel, that we leave it open to, you know, so we try not to get on subjects that may be sensitive. Right,
especially because it's like anything you say, people can take and manipulate your words and then try to make it seem like this is the way you feel, and that's the way they think. So we just try to steer away from politics and all that other stuff. But this is something that we just cannot ignore. Right. We cannot just put out a vlog with us having fun or doing things without talking about what's truly going on in the world. America. I mean, this has been going on for, you know, for the past 400 years.
Right.
But, you know, it's really been going on for the past about a week and a half now. Yeah. You know, of course, with the death of George Floyd, who was basically murdered in the streets of Minneapolis, which is just absolutely awful.
Right.
So
we can't ignore things, because our channel is open to everyone and all that, but at the end of the day, we are, my wife is black, my children are black, I'm not white, we're in an interracial marriage, but I'm also not white, I'm a minority, you know. So I'm in this just as much as everyone else. I've experienced, trust me, enough racism myself.
Right.
So
maybe not as much as a black male.
Yeah.
But you definitely had your
But I'm definitely not exempt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not in that type of interracial marriage. So the other portion of it is that most of our subscribers are black. So we definitely want to be able to reach out to everyone and let you know how we feel about the situation. So ultimately, you know, like Jasmine said, this was not new, but it came to light probably more than ever with George Floyd's death. And you know, it's crazy because I feel like it was recorded, and that's what made it big, and this happens all the time. And that's sometimes even worse.
It's just the fact that people are tired.
Yeah.
People are tired of having videos of black men being killed on camera and nothing happened.
And it happened back to back.
It's constantly happening. You know, look at Eric Garner, where that happened on Staten Island, where we're from. You know, that's where I was born and raised. Okay, and that happened not too far away from where I'm from. Right. You know, less than 10 minutes you can get to that where it happened in front of that beauty supply store. So, well, it may happen in like in front of the check cashing place, but it was, if you know where I'm talking about, where that area is.
Right. For selling cigarettes. Right.
For selling cigarettes, and the cops bothering him and killed him in broad daylight. I'll never forget. I think that was 2015 or 14. You know, absolutely ridiculous.
It's crazy.
And that man got off.
The police officer.
Yeah. I don't think he's no longer a police officer. Ooh, what a wonderful.
Right.
That's all. But look at his family. They have to wake up every single day knowing
they lost
that
their family member forever.
Their spouse, whoever he was to them.
It breaks my heart when I see George Floyd's daughter now. She has to live the rest of her life without her dad, and no amount of
and his son
popularity,
as well.
money, anything else is gonna bring him back, and that's terrible. And what did the man do? You killed him over a fake check?
Right.
I mean, what about that warranted you?
No, it was a $20 bill, babe.
Oh, a fake $20.
Right, they said it was a counterfeit $20 bill.
Yeah.
So, well, what? First of all,
that doesn't warrant you killing him.
Right.
When the man stopped breathing, he kept on his neck. I mean, it was like...
And the rest of the men that was on the rest of his body.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
absolutely disgusting. And none of you mean to tell me none of you could sit back and say, get off, stop, you're going too far,
right.
What are you doing?
No police officer checked the other one.
And then you have all of the people that are recording and standing there telling him, stop, he can't breathe, breathe. And that's still,
and they were ready to tase them and tear gas them.
That absolutely...
Or pepper sprays.
You know, absolutely ridiculous that you have people that just sit there and don't want to help you out at all. You know, I'm sorry, the people that they do want to help, excuse me, I got distracted by this truck that's coming.
it's a random truck that we're not used to seeing, and it's loud as hell.
Loud.
We've never seen that
that's
truck
a
before.
big
That's
truck.
Why. Yeah.
What was I saying? You know, it's just disgusting that you have people sitting here that want to help but can't help.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That can't help. You know how horrible I think about those people too.
That watch.
The nightmares that watch, and the people that record it, and it's like you seeing this man die, and you know that if you go up to him, I hated seeing those comments a lot like, oh well, why they didn't do anything to help?
That's just stupid.
Do you want them to get blown away?
Cop pulled out his pepper spray to spray them when they got close.
It's just a horrible position to be in.
Yeah.
Seeing someone dying in front of you and you can't do anything because you have 4 officers sitting there with their bodies on you, ready to shoot you, pepper spray you. Who knows what they would have done.
It was disgusting.
Absolutely disgusting.
So before that happened, here in Georgia, there was the young guy that was jogging and was like hunted and killed.
Yes, Ahmaud Arbery.
That was also completely disgusting. Since we moved to Georgia, I have to say Atlanta in general is not as bad because of the population of being more black people here.
Right.
But when you leave Atlanta, there are times that we have stopped in places and like gas stations and stuff like that, and Jasmine knows as soon as we come, I don't even let her come out at first. I come out first, and if I'm like putting gas or something like that, then I'll be like,
because you guys know we do a lot of road trips.
Yeah,
so.
Sometimes I'll be like, we're not gonna stop. We have had to hold it not using the bathroom because of the weird looks when we stopped at places, because we don't, you know, us not being from here, we don't know what the areas are, and it's sad, but it's a reality that in these areas there's a lot of racism. The racism is so crazy,
and we can't even say like, oh, just because you live out here in
it's
Atlanta,
gonna be good.
It's gonna be good.
Not.
Racism is everywhere. Racism is at your jobs. Racism is everywhere, and it's terrible that 2020 us as black people, we still got to go through this. It's disgusting, the things that I see online with people commenting saying all lives matter. Are you absolutely disgusting? Yes, all lives do matter. I'm not saying that your white life or your Asian life doesn't matter, but right now us black folks, we are under fire right now. We need help.
What's the meme that says about with the house is on fire?
Right, so it's saying, okay, let's say your house was burning down and the firefighters were coming towards your
all houses matter
house, and then your neighbor says, well,
all houses matter.
What about my house?
Right, so they spray all the houses.
Right, Why don't you help? Is there a fire at your house right now? Are you on fire right now? No.
The problem is my house is on fire.
Right. So the problem is the black people. We are on fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
In today's society, our house is on fire.
And we always have been, because our lives have never mattered. And it's terrible.
Yeah.
It's disgusting, because you have people of white privilege who just walks around, nose up in the air, and thinks that we are beneath them.
Yeah.
You know, I have experienced racism. I can't even, this vlog will go on and on for a long time of the racism and things that I experienced throughout my life. I remember as a little girl at 5 years old in kindergarten. I think that was my first experience, and I think that's probably be one that I'll share because I still remember it, and I still know the girls who did it. 5 years old, kindergarten class. You were excited about going to school, and it was recess time, and I said to them, I said, oh, can I play with you? And they said, no, you can't play with us because you're black.
Wow.
And I remember just stopping and looking, like, I felt horrible. It made me like look at my skin and say, is something wrong with being black? And that really affected me, because you know, I have children now, and I was the only black girl in my class. I was the only black girl in my class till the 4th grade. So I always felt like, my parents put me in that school because they wanted me to, put me in a nice Catholic school because they think the education is a little bit better there. They want, like, your parents want better for you. They're trying because they want better for you. But then they put you in these situations, they don't put you, I mean, you're in these situations where you may be the only black person in the class. And it's like, well, damn. Is something wrong with me because I was born black? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's absolutely ridiculous. And then I look at my children, who I don't know how society will perceive them. Are society going to look at them as black? Are they going to look at them as Indian? Are they going to be Hispanic? Yeah. Whatever it is, they're not white.
We talk about it all the time, where it's hard because, with them being mixed, we feel like they're going to go to school and they're going to be in those situations, and I just wish I could homeschool them and shelter them for the rest of my life, because it's going to be a day where they're not black enough. It's going to be a day where they're not Indian enough. And there's going to be a day where they're not white. Right. And it's going to lead to a feeling that they've never had before. And we, they're 2 and 4 years old, so
they have no idea what's
going on. It's hard to start that conversation because they're just not going to comprehend that.
Right, they're too young to process that.
But we're gonna, of course, have those conversations with them and try our best to. But how do you prepare your child for that? You know what I mean? Like, your parents prepared you before you went to pre-K, and you go to kindergarten and you're told, "Hey, I'm black, so you can't. You're black. You can't play with us."
And it's just devastating.
That's Staten Island. We moved here from Staten Island, and we'll say it because it's very real. Staten Island is
the most racist borough in New York City.
The most racist.
And yet pathetic. It's absolutely disgusting. And I'm not going to say it's not like I'm ashamed, because Staten Island does have a lot of beauty in it with a lot of cultures and stuff. But so I'm not going to sit up here and shut down where I'm from. Yeah. But it's absolutely. We love Staten Island. Right. I love Staten Island. I love my home. That's where I'm from, and I will always rep where I'm from. But at the same time, the racism,
it's worse than Atlanta, I can say that.
It makes me so angry to see, still to this day. You go online, they was telling people, because they said, let's have a protest on the other, because if you're from New York City or you're from Staten Island, it's a North Shore and a South Shore.
That's basically how Staten Island's broken up, the North and the South.
So, a lot of black people don't live on the South Shore of Staten Island, okay? And people was writing, let's bring our protest, they said a peaceful protest, to the South Shore to show the whites that our Black Lives Matter, because you treated us like crap all these years, you know what I'm saying, and continue to this day. You should have seen the comments telling people, oh, well, we got our guns locked and loaded, you come over here, you think you're gonna, and nobody's talking about ruining no businesses. Nobody was talking about all that.
They didn't say they wanted to come down and loot on the South Side, because if they wanted to do that, they would have. And
it was just, and I'm not gonna go into everything that I've seen online with Staten Island, but and at this point, if you guys see anybody doing anything racist at your job, online, don't stand for it, because we've been too nice for too long. And I think that's
I think so, and I think we've been tolerating, and I'm happy about this whole movement because it's so much in your face now that it's hard for anyone to ignore.
Right.
And even, I can tell you right now, I deleted almost 10 people on my Facebook in the last week because, you know what? I really don't know why I tolerated them being there. And we don't talk about politics, but they are heavy Trump supporters. And not that every Trump supporter is racist, but let's be real, he's racist.
Right. And then, like,
if you support him being racist, then you know what?
Then you're racist.
You're racist. I'm good.
You're racist at the end of the day. And you know, for what reason are you supporting this man? What's the reason? What is he doing for you? You know what I'm saying?
He doesn't hide his racism, but for me, it's that passive aggressiveness of, oh, your kids are so beautiful, your daughters are so gorgeous, but then you're always posting stuff like you hate immigration, you want to build a wall, immigrants shouldn't be in this country.
Right.
Hello,
and
I'm an
you're
immigrant.
You know? Why would you keep them around?
So I started deleting people. Like, if I see stuff I don't like now, and sorry to say, it's people on Staten Island, I delete them. Right. I'm good.
But
I'm good.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's people all over, but you gotta remember that the majority of our circle and people that we know is from New York City, mainly Staten Island. So you know, and it's like I said before, this is not to come down on Staten Island because there's a lot of greatness, and there are protests that's going on in Staten Island and things like that.
And I'm super proud of them.
I'm super
a lot
proud
of people
them.
We know they're really holding it down. They're representing. They're going to Manhattan to protest. They're protesting on Staten Island.
Yeah, I see a lot of my friends doing things that's really supporting this movement. Now, we talk about protesting. If we didn't have Rain and Royce, we would definitely 100% be out there protesting. I feel like it's important. I feel like my ancestors did it for us, and that's how they got us to where we are today. You know what I'm saying? Give us the rights, some of the rights that we do have today. So I do feel like it's important to get out there and voice everything, and don't fall for everything that you see on the news, okay? Because you see people looting and rioting. Yes, they are looting and rioting, but don't feel like, oh, everything is horrible.
Right.
I shouldn't go.
Protesters are not looters.
Right.
That's not. It's separate.
There's protesters, there's looters, and then there's thieves. There's all. You know what I'm saying?
There will be opportunists in every situation.
Every situation.
And you know what? And I have to say, like,
be careful.
You know how people are against, oh well, I can't believe they would light a police car on fire or they would burn down the police station. You might think that if you never really were angry enough and you've never been through that stuff.
Right, because if you're constantly
and you just don't understand it. But look at Colin Kaepernick, where he was kneeling for years trying to, and you know what? I hate to say, but it's like they want you to keep quiet and peaceful protests because it's easy to ignore.
Right, and you see how quick they show it on the news, and then it's over with.
Right, they've been ignoring peaceful protests. They love it. They want it to all be peaceful because they can ignore it so easily.
Move on with your life.
I'm not saying go down there and burn everything down, but I understand why it was done.
I understand. You know, I do feel bad for, you know, like mom and pop shops and, you know, things that people built from, you know, with their own money and stuff like that. But, you know, I feel bad.
Saying I support that.
I'm not saying I support it, but I definitely understand. Definitely understand. Because the only way you're going to pay attention is if I start making noise.
Yeah.
Only way you're going to start paying attention if I start ruining stuff. You know what I'm saying? Now look, as soon as you turn on the news, that's all that's on the news. That's all you see. You go on the internet, that's all you see. Yeah. And so that's what makes me even more mad, that people can sit back and ignore this when it's everywhere you go. You can't turn on your phone, you can't turn on the TV
because
without seeing this.
They're trying to ignore it, but they are so bothered by it, and that's what they needed.
Right.
That's what they needed.
I want you to feel uncomfortable because that's how I feel.
Right.
That's how I've been feeling the
for
whole
a long time.
30 some years of my life. Well, I'm 31, but I haven't been feeling like 1 year old. But you get what I'm saying. Yeah. I've been feeling like this since I was a child.
But your ancestors have felt that, you know? So
now you get to feel, you would never get to feel our pain as black people, but now you get to feel a little bit of uncomfortableness, you know? So, isn't it rain?
It's like rain.
Rain is on and off. Rain is on and off. Right. They're up here doing that Frozen call if you can hear them in the background. But
so don't. All right, so we're not gonna be able to touch on everything. I'm telling you right now, I could run this video up for 2 hours, 3 hours. I could talk about this all day. I could get into my personal experiences I've had. Jasmine gave you one of many experiences she's had. We can drag this out, trust me. And maybe we'll touch on it a little bit at a time more, but we don't want to go all into it.
Right, and it's definitely not something that we'll make this video and then okay, next video everything's all gone and everything is good, because yes, the next video will be something more positive and uplifting to get you guys, because I look at our vlogs like theater. As me being a theater teacher, people go to the theater to escape reality. That's the reason why people go to theater. Yes. Or people go to
okay, not yet.
Okay.
Go play.
When I finish this.
But right now,
or people go to the theater to be faced, you know, to, what's the word I'm looking for, not face reality, but to get answers and see other people's perspectives on their reality. So right now we're showing you our perspective on the reality, and then
this
maybe the
vlog is reality, not taking you away from reality, basically.
Exactly. So next vlog, maybe it will just be something light and airy and fun. I don't know what it's going to be, but know that this is something that we absolutely 100% take seriously. You know, this is something I feel 100% bad for all the lives who had to lose their lives due to police brutality and
so that's
racial injustice.
That's where, you know, the other part of it, besides us discussing racism, the other major part of this is the police brutality. You know, in the United States, they are known to be like, I think it's something like top 10 for most lethal police in the world. The United States police.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, most of the fatalities are against African Americans. Even though, you know, only I think 13% of the population is African American, most of the police brutalities are against African Americans. You know, so someone made a really good reference about, because people say like, well, you know, I know a lot of police officers and it's really like a one bad egg kind of thing. Well, no. When you come to the hospital, if there's one nurse that turned around and treated you so bad and was like racist to you, let's say they were racist to you, completely, let's say you come in and the nurse is completely racist to you, you don't turn around and say, well, it was just that one bad nurse. Right. No, it's a system problem. If you keep having nurses be racist to you, there's a problem with this hospital. Right. There's a problem with them training their nurses. There's a problem with the processes their nurses have in place.
Or the consequences that they're giving these nurses for the actions that people are having these complaints about.
It's like the hospital is saying it's okay.
Right.
It's the same thing in the police station.
Right. It's like, here's the thing. I have family members that are ex-police officers and police officers, or friends of people that I know.
We have friends that are police.
I know that every single, and that's not me saying, oh, F the police and all this other stuff, because yes, granted, I know there are good people out there, but it should not 100%. Be any of them that's bad. Yeah. You should not be attacking a specific group of people because of the color of their skin or what you think they're going to do. It's sad. You got to be afraid to go to a store. You got to be afraid if you get pulled over by a cop, what he's going to do if you make the wrong move. You got to be afraid now to even walk around in your own neighborhood because you don't know who's watching you or may come after you with a gun. Yeah. Who wants to live like that?
Yeah, it's terrible.
Who wants to live like that? You know? It's like, I walk my girls around the neighborhood all the time. They're pushing their strollers and stuff like that. Do I ever want somebody to take out a shotgun and shoot me because they never seen my black behind before?
It's crazy. It's craziness.
You know?
Yeah, but there's a problem with the police, the way the police system is set up here. There definitely is room for improvement. There's a whole lot of room for improvement. And I think that's something that is finally being looked at. I was kind of happy to see, I'm sorry for them in a sense, that they're getting budget cuts and this and that, but there has to be consequences. It can't just keep going. Now, why is it that you have white men that go in and shoot places up? I mean, murder. There's white men shooting places up. Imagine you go shoot a place up and they're able to go in and disarm him and even give him a drink of water. Oh, you thirsty? And get him in handcuffs, no problem. How is that? And then a man with a fake $20 bill, you sit on his throat for 8-9 minutes? It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't, and it's not
right. It doesn't make sense.
It's not right, and it makes me angry. I'm sure it makes you, the viewer that is watching, you know. And it's so many things that other women that also lost their hands of police brutality, like Breonna Taylor, which recently happened. It's like you don't even have to leave your house. She was in her own home.
Yeah.
So at what point is enough? We are tired, we are restless, and we just want to be treated as equals.
Yeah.
And something has to change with these police. And yes, something 100% needs to change.
We need big change.
Sooner than later. Okay, these cops need to be held accountable for their actions, whether it is they are going to jail instantly and convicted for the murders that they do. Whatever it takes, something needs to change. You know, so I just hope that this family seeks, nothing's going to bring this man back. Yeah. So they're never going to feel complete justice within their heart. And, you know, I don't know what these, you know, this family 100% feels, you know. My heart bleeds for them, but I don't know what I've never lost a family member, knock on wood, to police brutality. But the way that the world is going right now, who knows? Yeah. You know, who knows whose black family life is next.
And this is not a rant that is, you know, black people versus white cops or white people. This is because some of those police officers are not even white, who are with, you know, abusing people. So it's not that
thing that happened here.
There's a lot of, you know, white people who understand what's going on in every culture, and they're standing up and they're standing up
being
for
our
black
allies.
lives, you know, because it's important that we as human beings stick together. I just wish we could get that in everyone's homes everywhere. I know we got a long way to go. I just hope that this pushes the progress faster than it has been going, because it has not been going very fast.
You know, I just look at my children innocently playing, having no idea what's going on in the world. You know, they don't have no understanding. All Rain knows is put your mask on, you know, with the you know, with the pandemic.
When we bought a house,
it's just,
we intentionally looked for a neighborhood that was somewhat mixed, you know, and it's sad, but we had to house hunt that way because certain neighborhoods, certain schools, it's so disproportionate that Jasmine would bring up that story to me about, I was the only black kid in my class. I know what that's like, and I don't want them to experience that. So that played a major role in us house hunting. And speaking of that, I could tell you, you know, we don't know if our neighbors watch our vlog. We hope they don't. But if they do, we have several neighbors in this neighborhood that to this day, we've been here almost 3 years, and they still don't even look our way. It's sad. It was really actually very heartbreaking, because we wanted home ownership so much, and it was such a life goal of ours to have a home in a really nice neighborhood. You know, we've intentionally picked out a neighborhood that it cost us a little more, but we would get more for our money, and we assumed these would also mean nicer neighborhoods. But unfortunately, we have, and I don't mean one, we have multiple neighbors in our community and around us that when we walk around or we're outside our house, they do not even look our way. It's crazy. It's crazy. Oh, I know we've never discussed that on the vlog, but since we are on this topic of racism, and it's a real thing, it's real.
Don't even look my black way. It's sad. Like, what is a hello? How are you? But you know how I signed, sealed, and delivered. Remember yesterday we was outside, and I said, look at the white family walking by. Look, I'm having I said, they speak. They speak. Having a full conversation.
Discussion.
How you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Having a full conversation with them.
Because it was a white couple with two young kids.
Right, two young kids. But
we're a couple with two young kids, but you don't say hello to us.
Right. I know they was tight when we moved in the neighborhood.
Yeah. So clearly we pissed off some people moving in the neighborhood, but
we're not even the only black people that live in this neighborhood.
That's the weird part.
Within a couple of houses we are.
Yeah, within these houses, like
black and brown. So, you know.
Yeah, the closest person of color is about 8-9 houses up. Yeah, and I haven't seen any on that side. I know of one there. I know of one like on the other side. So
right.
So yeah, it continues. It continues.
It continues. And I just want to hold on to this little bit of unknowing with my kids, with them not knowing about, you know, race, and just having, you know, not being judged by the color of their skin, because they're still
not knowing
babies.
what it's like to be singled out and
I want to hold on
discriminated.
to that, but I know I can't hold on to it forever.
Yeah.
You know, right now they're just two little girls playing, having a good time, and they don't have any worries for anything.
It's the most heartbreaking thing to know that one day at some point
it's gonna make me very
someone's
angry.
gonna discriminate against them, and
I'm gonna go
I'm gonna be ready to kill them.
No, don't say that. Not kill them, babe, but you like, it's just absolutely disgusting. And I don't want to hear, oh, well, I have black friends. Oh, my neighbor's black. How could I? Don't want to hear none of that.
Yeah.
All right. Because, I'm gonna keep it real PG on this vlog.
Yeah. Don't. And trust me, we have kept this vlog very PG.
Very.
This conversation, it's from our heart, but it could have been a lot more raw.
Right. Right. We still have to. I feel like this conversation could be something that you still play with your kids around.
Yeah. We didn't want to make it inappropriate either, you know. Absolutely. And I don't think we made this inappropriate for anyone, whether it's your age, your culture, or any of that.
Yeah.
So that's about it for this talk on where we are right now in this moment.
Right. And I want to show you guys a little clip. As you guys know, we do a lots of pictures and things from people that want the girls to model their clothes or anything. As you guys can see, it's a cute little shirt that we have on, and I'll show you guys the clip right now. Okay, so mommy has been on this natural journey this whole time during this pandemic. The girls, they're just being themselves. I didn't do their hair because, you know why, we're in the house. And we just took some pictures and uploaded on Instagram. But we got these shirts from Pretty Itty Bitties, and I will tag them below. Check her out on Instagram. She's a traveling hairdresser around Atlanta, and she specializes in doing children's hair. So I will tag them below. Check her out, especially if you live in Atlanta. Even if you don't live in Atlanta, she has some really, really cute shirts that I think like not a couple of years ago, but a couple of months ago, you saw the girls with another shirt that says, you can look but don't touch. That's where those shirts are from as well. So this says, messy hair, don't care. Surviving a pandemic over here. Right, girls?
Yeah. And mommy have black shirt like me.
Yes, me and Rain both have black on. And Royce, what color do you have?
Pink.
Pink. Pretty pink with the polka dots. So check her out, guys. Thank you so much. And yes, yeah, check her out, guys. So I know that we didn't talk about everything that's going on, you know.
It's hard to touch on.
It's hard to touch on everything. We're not here for 3-4 hours. The news, you know. We are just a family, just like you, living out here in America, and just voicing our opinion. Change. And we want to see a change, and we hope that you guys, this also gives you a little bit more enlightenment from us, our own, you know, instead of just seeing us going about and doing things around, just to hear us talk, just sit down and talk to you guys, and to see a different side from us. It's something we 100% could not ignore. Absolutely. You know, and not touch on. I do hope that this George Floyd family gets somewhat of justice for this. We only could wait and see, but shout out to all the protesters out there. If you're watching and you went out and protest, shout out to you. Yeah. Know that we are with you and we're standing behind you guys. Definitely. And yeah, you guys want to talk more, feel free to leave a comment below. If you want to talk on Instagram, you can shoot me over a DM or message me on Facebook. All right, guys. Royce, you want to say bye to everybody? Yeah. While you're dipping in water, while your dress all wet? Come on, go by daddy. Oh, good.
Okay. The dress is all wet. We're playing some rain in the water.
Yeah, playing with rainwater. Rain, playing with the rain. Okay, guys. Well, until the next vlog, you guys stay safe out there. And know that we're wishing you guys all the best during these hard times, truly. All right, guys. Until the next vlog, continue to live
A rich
and jazzy life. Bye. Okay, leave it, Royce.
Hold it down when you talk to me. Say it is what it's supposed to be. Say it loud, but I mean it too, yeah. Talk that good when you talk to me. Say it nice and I give it to you. You know my word is bond, yeah. What we on now is wild, shit a trip, yeah. Life is lit, take a breath, that's it. Now it's wild, this shit a trip. Life is litty, shit a gift, bitch I'm him. I don't really lack nothing. Drip black fish, hit the splash button. Niggas landlocked, too bad for them. And they liable to talk, but it's mad rubbish. It don't mean nothing. From the soil, trying to make it to the top floor. But the penthouse, pink game, something mad yucks, bros. No sleeping, been a task rabbit, been a lab at it. The chief of the tribe I put on for my village. Used to be local, I'm taking it global. Sharp with the focus, she catching emotion. Treat that holistic, I give it a physics. Fuck your opinion, just did a show, only spit raw material. I'm independent, bitch, I'm in the building. Look what we built it feel like no ceiling, we taking it worldwide.